If you're asked to find the geometric mean and you're given two numbers, all you're going to do is multiply them together. So go to your calculator and say 7 times 35, and it's going to be 245. But that's still in a radical. So hang on, let me get my pen here. So what that looks like is radical 245. Okay, so what we're going to do is break that down into simplest radical form, because that's what your study guide asks you to do. So you're going to need to use the find the multiples, and I like to find square roots, and that's a big number, and I don't know all of my multiples of 245. So I'm going to go into the y equals part of my calculator, and I'm going to type 245 divided by x and hit the second graph button, and that's going to bring up a table of the numbers that multiply to 245. So as I scroll down and I get down to number 5, I see that 5 and 49, and I like 49 because I know 49 is a perfect square. So 5 and 49 make 245, and the square root of 49 is 7 and 7. So if those pair up, so one of those come out of the house, and the 5 stays in the house. So the answer for that would just be 7 radical 5. Okay, so the same applies to if you're given a number and a radical. You're just going to multiply them and then take the square root. So when we multiply them together, 5 times 4. So this 5 and the 4 multiply, and they give you 20. And this radical 6 and radical 6 multiply to give you radical 36. And we know that 36 is a perfect square, so 6 and 6 would come out of the house and 1 would come out, so then you would have 20 times 6, which is 120. And the review asked you to solve it in simplest radical form, so now we need to break this down in simplest terms. So I'm going to go to my calculator and type in 120 divided by x, second table, and looking at my numbers, I have 1 in 120, 2 in 60, 3 in 40, 4 in 30. Let's use 4 in 30 because 4 is a perfect square. So I know this will break down into 2 and 2, so I know that I have at least a 2 that's going to come out of the house. And let's break down this 30 even farther. So let's just say 5 and 6. So I know that 6 can't break down any further because it can only be made up of 3 and 2. I'm running out of room here. So I know 3 and 2 can't pair up and come out of the house, so therefore these are the ones that didn't pair up, and so they multiply together and they stay inside of the house. So it joins this part of the answer, so 2 radical 30, because we multiplied the 5 times the 6, is our answer for this one.